Gaming's a pretty expensive hobby. Lucky for you guys, I'm going to teach you my top trick on how I get every video game absolutely free. Video games are expensive, and when you're broke like me, that often means setting a game budget for the year, which can be tough whenever there's a lot of cool games coming out that you want to play. But you already spent your budget money on NBA 2K because your friends convinced you that this year was different and that you'd play it more than one time. Sometimes you got to be a little creative, be a little penny pincher. Penny pincher, penny pincher. You remember that episode? Mr. Krabs was just like pinching people in the ass. I never wanted to be a crab more in my life. Born in the wrong phylum, man. But really, all you have to do to score a deal is wait. And depending on what the game is, sometimes that's not very long at all. Short shelf life games, like sports games, they go on sale really, really quick. Like this 2K25 released in September, just 1 month later and it's down to $48. Madden, same thing, 2 months later, $45. FIFA, or EA Sports FC, sorry. 1 month later, $35. And that doesn't go for just sports games. I mean, Black Ops 6, not as big of a discount, but still, after a couple months, it's down 25%. And that's not to mention the massive catalog of games that are like 5 to 10 years old that are dirt cheap right now. I mean, Red Dead 2 for $15, GTA 5 for $15, Dead Space for $15. We got Battlefield 24. Well, actually, you don't want to play that one. The Witcher 3 is only $8. It's insane. These are fantastic games that you can sink hundreds of hours into, and they're really pretty reasonably priced. So if you can avoid all the hype and the fear of missing out whenever a game is released, you can really get some pretty good deals. But sometimes you don't even really need to wait for a discount because some developers are absolute chads who see you for more than just a wallet, and they don't charge a ton for their games. And it feels like the entire industry is kind of shifting in this direction towards just really fun indie games. Like you got Among Us, Lethal Company, Content Warning. These are some of the best co-op experiences that we've seen in years, and they come in at a fraction of the price of like a AAA game. And I know this is wishful thinking, but I'm hoping that some of the big boys out there see this and they realize if you're going to be charging AAA prices, your game needs to be polished. And that means working whenever it releases, which I know is a lot to ask for nowadays, but it needs to work, it needs to be polished, and it has to be fun. But Black Ops 18 and Madden 2035 are all going to sell millions of copies, so why put in the effort anyways, I guess. But what if there are some AAA games that you really want to play, but you really don't want to pay the full price for them? Well, if you're willing to throw your morality to the wind, then key websites might be able to help you with that. Key websites like CD Keys and G2A let you buy Steam keys at a discounted price. And scrolling through these sites, it really can be enticing. And I've definitely been tempted to buy from these sites before. And I think most people, including myself, get blinded by the incredible prices. And they don't stop to ask, how are they actually getting these keys? And the answer to that is, well, it depends. There are plenty of legitimate key resellers out there that are doing great work, like Humble Bundle. Everybody wins on these sites. You get the game for cheap, the developers actually get paid, and a portion of the sale goes to charity. But here's the issue, right? Most of the time, the legitimate resellers, their prices aren't that much cheaper than actual retail. It's like usually like 10, 20%. And then you go look at the morally gray websites like CD Keys, and it's pretty tempting stuff. These sites don't get their keys directly from the developers. So where do they get their keys from? A lot of the time, they're just stealing them. Criminals will steal people's credit cards, buy a bunch of keys, and then sell them on these sites to get that cold, hard cash. Now you might be thinking, well, the developers are still getting paid, and the key reselling website, they're going to get their cut whenever somebody buys those. The buyer gets the game for cheap, and the person that had their credit card stolen, they can just, dispute the charges and get their money back. So everybody wins, right? It's not really that cut and dry. See, whenever you dispute a charge on your card, somebody's still got to take that charge on. And you know damn well the bank isn't going to do that. So a lot of times it goes back to the developers, and they end up having to pay out of pocket for that. So the big companies, that's a drop in the bucket. But you get a small indie developer that's working on the game, by themselves or with a small team. That ain't good. That ain't good. So I'm not going to tell you not to shop on these sites. You know, you do whatever you want. Maybe just think about who the developer is and what site you're buying from. I will say, though, that the thought of us buying games from EA and them losing money from that, it's a pretty interesting proposal. I'm not going to lie. They're not going to notice a difference anyways. They're printing money from all different revenue streams. I mean, just EA Play by itself, their subscription service, they have 13 million subscribers to that. That's $78 million a month just from EA Play. I will say it's a pretty good deal. Not EA's version, but, you know, just gaming subscriptions in general, if you don't really care about owning the game. I guess if you buy a game digitally, you don't technically own it anyways, which is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, if I'm paying the full price for a game, I should own it at the bare minimum. And that's why I think keeping physical media around is really, really, really important. But digital is convenient. I can't lie. Most of my games are digital because I'm too lazy to switch out a disc. PlayStation Plus's higher tiers are actually pretty good as a subscription service. They give you a massive catalog of games that you can play. The only catch is that you have to be subscribed to PS Plus to play them. So if your subscription runs out, you can't open the game, which is fair, I guess. And they actually have some pretty great titles in this catalog. So if you have a PlayStation, you probably already have at least the base tier, so upgrading to the next one shouldn't really be that much money. PS Plus has a streaming option as well, and I've never tried it through them before, but I've tried like Steam Link and PlayStation Remote Play and like GeForce Now, and the experience through those has always been kind of subpar. The biggest issue with streaming games, I think, is the input lag. Like, even if you have a really strong Ethernet connection, you can still tell the games are being streamed. You can't really play like online or competitive games because you're going to be at such a disadvantage playing those. They do work for like single player and like story driven games. My fiance and I have been playing through the Walking Dead Telltale game, and we've been running that through Steam Link on our Amazon Fire Stick, and that's actually been working pretty well. So my PC's upstairs and I can stream it to the TV downstairs so we can play it on the couch. And I think those types of games are where game streaming really shines. Anything that requires like fast inputs and quick reaction time, it's just going to be pretty ass. Yeah, those are all my tips for gaming on a budget. And now I thought it would be fun to put those tips into action. So I'm going to take $100 and we're going to see what kind of awesome game library we can build. Come on, let's go. PC's right here. It's not that far. So we're going to take a look and see what kind of game library we can build with just $100. So the first website I go to whenever I'm looking for a new game is this one right here. It's called isthereanydeal.com. And the really great part about this website is that it only lists legitimate resellers. So the issue I was talking about earlier with, you know, those sites that steal people's credit cards to get the keys, you don't really have to worry about it whenever you're searching for games on here. So just trending on the front page here, we see Red Dead 2 for $15. So $15 for one of the best games of all time. It's going in the cart, man. So that's going to leave us with $85. And again, an amazing game, one of the best in recent memory, and it's only $45. So we'll grab that. And that still leaves us with $40 to work with. I want to look at some cheaper games so that we can really fill out the library with a little bit of volume as well. You know, a game that I've been wanting to check out is Balatro. It's a game that I've been hearing a lot about lately, and it's only $10. So we'll go ahead and add that. Another game series that I've been playing through, Brothers in Arms. And these games are really, really good if you're into like historical shooters. I actually have a pretty cool video about it if you're interested in it, so you might want to go check that out. But you can see Hell's Highway here is only $3.50, and Earned in Blood is only $3.50. So I already have Road to Hill 30. So we'll go ahead and pick up Earned in Blood and Hell's Highway for a total of $7, which is an absolute steal for how good this game is. That still leaves us with $23 in our budget, and I've been looking for some co-op games, and some of my favorite ones of those are the Lego games. So let's go ahead and take a look at those, and these are usually pretty cheap as well. Like, look at this. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, one of my favorite games growing up, is only $3.87. So we'll just round that up, call that $19. So we still have $19 left, and I think games that are in like the mid 2010s is really going to be where we're going to see the best value. So let's see how much Skyrim is going for right now. It's only $10. So we'll go ahead and scoop that bad boy up, leaving us with $9 left in the budget. Let's see how much The Witcher 3 is. And that is only $8. So we'll go ahead and add that. That's pretty much our entire budget. So we'll call that there. But yeah, we were able to build a really good game library for just $100. Like thousands of hours of entertainment just for $100. I think that's pretty awesome. But if any of you guys want to try this, take $100, see what kind of library you can build, and leave it in the comments below. I would love to read through those. I think that would be super, super cool. If you feel like I've earned your subscription in this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button. It's completely free and it helps out the channel a ton. I got some really cool projects coming up that I've been working on. They're going to be coming out here pretty soon, and I'm so excited for you guys to see them. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Take care.